What's up, guys? I want to talk to you today about flipping and pitching a little bit. And the reason I want to talk about that is because when people see me fish, when I have guys in the boat and they see me fishing, they always ask me right away, they're like, oh man, are you a lefty? Because they see that I'm using left-handed retrieve reels. And the answer is always the same. The answer is no, I'm not lefty. I'm righty. My right hand is dominant, and hence why I use left-handed retrieve reels. Now, like most of you guys, years ago, bait casters weren't made with lefty hand retrieves. They were all right-handed. So I could use both, but for me, it's more comfortable to use the lefty reels, especially when I'm flipping and pitching. And the reason for that is because when you flip it out there and it hits the water, most of your bites are going to come on the way down. We know that. And it just bothered me so much to flip it out there, have it hit the water, switch hands, lock the reel, and then if fish had it, set the hook. Now, it's so much easier when you flip it out there. The bail is loose, your bait's going down straight. If you get bit, you engage the reel and you set the hook. I've seen guys do this number. They flip it out there and then they engage the reel like this with their middle finger, and then they switch hands and they work the bait. They reel out, they switch hands again, and they flip it back out there. Just seems like a lot of work when you're trying to hit as many little pockets as you can. I mean, when you're flipping or you're pitching, efficiency is the most important thing. You want to make 1,000,000 casts. So if you're only making 900,000, 50, you're missing on casts, you're missing on fish. I'm in and out of the water real quick. Boom, out, engage, work it, reel it out, boom, I'm back out there. Now, you hear a lot of elite guys talking about flipping and pitching, and you see that they're using right-hand retrieve reels. Don't be fooled. A lot of them are older guys. When they started fishing, when they were younger, they didn't have options for left-handed reels. So they got used to it. If you see guys like Shaw Grigsby and Greg Hackney, if you see guys like that fishing, pay close attention. They're righties, but pay close attention to what hand they're actually making the cast with. They're making their casts with their left hand. So they're engaging the reel with their right hand. They're never actually making that switch back and forth that I see a lot of people doing. They're not throwing it out there and switching hands. No, they make their cast with their left hand and they engage the reel with their right hand. Now, I do see a lot of elite guys and a lot of bass fishermen in general make their cast with their right, switch, engage, switch again, make their cast. Just ask yourself, what hand do you cast with? And if the answer is that you cast with your right hand, which is I cast with my right hand, pinpoint accuracy, right hand, there's no reason for you not to be using a left-handed reel, especially for flipping and pitching. If you're casting a crankbait out there and you're switching it mid-air when it hits the water and you're engaged right away, that's fine. If you're more comfortable doing that way, that's fine. But you cannot tell me that you are efficient flipping and pitching by making that switch every time. It's just not right. So if you want to try a left-handed reel for no other application other than flipping and pitching, give it a try. You won't be disappointed. You're going to see how much more effective you're going to be and how much more efficient you're going to be flipping and pitching using a left-handed reel. My setup is pretty much standard. You know, if I'm fishing, heavy vegetation and stuff, I'll use braid. I'll use 50-pound braid. I use a 3/4 ounce or a 1 ounce weight. I use a trocar flipping hook. I like to put a skirt in between the weight and the hook, especially off-colored water. And if it's clear water, then I'll take the skirt off. And as a bait, you know, my favorite bait to use is a missile D-bomb in Love Bug. I really like these baits. They come through vegetation very clean. They come out really clean. And I tend to have a lot of success with them, so I enjoy using them. The other thing is, for flipping and pitching, a lot of guys use a snell knot. I tend to stay away from that unless I'm using a big Strike King heavy flipping hook. Then I'll snell knot that. But if I'm using a trocar hook, then I'll just go with the regular braid knot that I use. That's just my personal preference. But yeah, give it a try. Left-handed retrieve reels, there's definitely a time and place for them. And I think flipping and pitching, you're gonna surprise yourself at how much you like using a left-hand retrieve reel, especially if you're a righty. Especially if you make your casts with your right hand. That's the key. If you cast with your left hand, different story. But if you cast with your right hand, give yourself a left-hand retrieve reel and get to work.